So much out of me, but I got a lot more. If I need to pick me up, I listen to ops more. But if I'm ever down, it's never long enough to hear him out. Some people at the bottom questioning my whereabouts. I just took a picture.
On my back against the wall. I seen the future.
That was cold.
Only hit it.
Alright, we live, Sound On with Hollywood Hagen, and I got my guest today, the very special Tarik Trotter.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, bro.
Hey,
Pleasure to have you, man.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
to have you. Pleasure
Thank
to
you.
have you. Man, so I just been thinking, man, like, you know, just my whole little journey and everything as far as like, you know, when we first met and like, you know, friend of a friend introducing, and I was just like, he was like, yo, he does music, and I'm just like, he does music?
Yeah.
I'm like, does he really do music? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And bro, the second I hit play, I ain't looked back, bro. And it's been
I'm
solid.
trying to think though. Did we meet through music or was it through ball
No,
first?
We met through hooping,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
And then Yardley told me.
Obviously Yardley, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we met. We actually turned up. We went out,
Facts.
and I was like, because bro, when I surround myself with people and when I do certain things as far as like that type of level, the circle's solid.
You've always been that way.
So like when we did that, I was like, oh okay, he's a vibe, he's cool, he's solid, you know, he's on his music tip, very like kind of well kept to yourself type vibe, like, and I loved it. I was like, yo, for him to be in the music and to be this way, like, it's a perfect combo, right? So yeah, man. Obviously, I got a lot of questions, bro. I've always had a lot of questions. I always ask you about certain things. I want to know what you're doing next.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what's going on? What's coming out next?
I'm
Like,
excited, bro. I don't know what questions you got coming.
bro, they coming, bro. I'm digging
I'm
deep.
excited.
I mean, I guess we could first start off by like, I mean, obviously, you from music background, right? And you know, from New York, Brooklyn, BX, stand up, right?
That's Bronx, but
What, Bronx, Brooklyn,
BK,
BK, Brooklyn, Harlem, they all the same.
Yeah, it's
to
all
me.
the same. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just being from like that musical quote, like that musical like stumping ground. I mean, honestly, you got the Hovas, you got the Benny Siegels, you got the Cassidys, you got like that's definitely one of the stumping grounds. Like, so I guess just talking, I want you to talk a little more about your upbringing there, right? You know, growing up, maybe some of your influences, what you listened to in the household,
Yeah.
and kind of where it all started.
Yeah. So I definitely will start by saying I did not grow up wanting to be a rapper. I was on the ball player side.
Yep.
And I was a church boy.
Okay.
Like, my mom had me in the church. Like, she, you know, the rule was as long as you're living in this house, on Sundays we're going to church. So, but like you said, the music was there, obviously. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm a neighborhood away from Marcy Projects.
Okay.
Right? Linden houses, you know, these are some pretty trying neighborhoods, I'll put it that way.
The roots.
Yeah, the
Real
real
PJs.
roots. You know, and I moved around as a kid, so I grew up in mostly Brooklyn, but I touched 4 out of the 5 boroughs.
Okay.
So the only borough I didn't live in was Staten Island. So
So you moved around a lot.
yeah, I was in Harlem for a while, early childhood. I was in Queens, right next door to Queensbridge, where Nas was, coming up. So the music was all there. It was around me, and it was funny because, I'd be in a car with moms growing up, and I'm like, I want to, play some rap.
Yeah.
And I'm playing like good songs, the
Yeah.
Ready to Die album or something, where I'm only like 6, 7 years old at the time.
So you knew.
But I knew it was just what was going on. When I was at the park, and mom wasn't around, this is like what all the old heads was playing. So, and we get in the car, I'm like, this is what I want to listen to. The second a curse word comes on, bro, the second, my mom's like, turn it off. Turn it off.
What's that noise?
Yeah, and I'm like, Mom, out of the whole line he just said, all you heard was that one curse word. That's it.
That's how it is.
He just said some fire, and and so that was kind of like my relationship with music. I had to kind of touch base with it when I wasn't around moms, and like it was just, man, like that's what when you see, when we hear the word culture, like that's where it came from. It's like it's there. It's like wherever you are. It's in the speakers of cars driving by the parks, you know what I'm saying? And
You preaching to the choir.
It's just crazy.
So what your parents listen to? Was it more like old school, like
Yeah.
Temptations, Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Yep.
That
You
type
already
of
know
vibe?
how it
Yeah.
is. You know, black
Michael
parents.
Jackson, Miller, like.
Yeah. And then a lot of gospel too.
Were
A lot
you in
of
a
gospel.
choir?
I actually was in a choir for a little bit.
Okay.
During like I'd say like 10 to 14 years old.
I was gonna say because listening to your music, I like the switch up.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
I'm
I be
down
singing a
for
little
the
bit.
switch ups, bro. The switch ups is cool, bro.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, I mean, off the top, I was just like, yo, this dude is cultured. Like, he was brought up a different kind of way.
Mhm.
Like, you can hear it in the music. You know what I mean? And
It's funny that you say that though, because like, you know, when people ask me about music, it's just like I didn't know that I'd be doing this. You know, I didn't pick up the pencil to write a song until I was 20 years old. You know, which is, you know, that's a decade ago.
20 years
But like
old.
that whole time before that, I never thought like, I never envisioned myself on the stage. Like I was trying to play ball, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was doing.
But you was consuming the sound.
Oh, it was around.
Like,
Exactly.
you was consuming
if you're
the sound
outside, the
whole
music is
20
there.
years.
Yep.
The whole 20
Yep.
years you was indulging.
Yep.
So what inspired you to pick up the pencil or to pick up the pen?
Yeah. So I mean, this is where it gets lit because it was the worst of times. It was the best of times.
Man.
It was I was sitting in college. It was sophomore year, mind you. Freshman year of college. Again, let me back up just a little bit. In high school, I went to a performing arts high school. Okay, so you had to audition to get in. Went to Frank Sinatra High School.
That's what did it.
I went for acting.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Went for
No
acting.
idea.
Yeah. This whole time I'm being built up. This is building my stage presence. This is building my breathing. Things I didn't know that I would need, you know, later on in life. Senior year of high school comes. I have a 1.9 GPA because I didn't really take school like too seriously.
checked out.
Math was my favorite subject, and that was it. I didn't really care about anything else. And math and acting, that's really all I was there for.
Yeah.
Now at a performing arts high school, shout out to, you know, that school and like the staff that works there, but the priority is to get these kids not into college but into a performing arts college, like to continue that career.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the most efficient guidance in regards to like where I was going to go to for school. So I ended up going to some private school, just like following my best friend, and I was like, they accept a 1.9 GPA, they got a basketball team, it's D2, I'm in there, let's go.
In there.
Right? So
you hoop too. You play ball at the same.
Yes.
At that.
So I got to the school, and my plan was like, I'm gonna get good grades so I can get a scholarship, and I'm gonna walk on the team. I get there, I was not good enough to play on the team.
It didn't go as planned.
A lot of people don't realize D2 is just D1 kids that didn't want to. They didn't want to sit on the bench.
It's like G League.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but 365 days straight, and I mean 365 days straight, I was in the gym every single day working on basketball. And like lifting.
So how much of a relation do you think the sport of basketball has
with music?
to what you're doing now? Like did that translate? Was it
Yeah.
kind of like you know what I mean? Like that grind, right? Like
100%.
the 10,000 hours you got to put. You know what I mean?
100%. It all like it leads to like where we are right now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Sitting in these seats, we just didn't like know it yet. But
Yeah.
like, you know, we've all heard the lines and like how, you know, basketball and music is so synonymous. You know, rappers want to be ball players want to be rappers.
It really is.
It's there, 100%.
Because you put in the time.
Yeah. What do you think I'm listening to while I'm shooting the shots?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And vice versa.
Yeah. That's how it is. So, yeah, sophomore year comes along. I got good enough to make the team, so I did walk on. Check, right? This is like big because I'm thinking I'm going to the league. I'm trash still.
He said D2, but we making it.
I'm going to the league. This is my plan. And so, yeah, sophomore year comes, and I just had the craziest day, bro. The same day that I found out that I made the team, right? I'm like officially on the roster. And this is a big deal to me.
Yep.
I get a call from Mom's back home. She's in Queens at the time, and I'm upstate New York at college, okay? And she says, essentially, we're getting evicted from the place that we're living, okay? So that's one thing, and I'm like, damn. And this is not the first time. This isn't new to me. Like we had been kind of kicked out of places before, and so that's one thing, right? Mind you, same morning I found out I had made the team. Later on that afternoon, I have a meeting with the president of my college because I get financially caught up, right? It's sophomore year. I already had a $30,000 loan from freshman year. I figured if I get good grades, I'm gonna get a scholarship. So I had a 3.8 GPA. My school gave me $1,000 per semester, and it cost $35,000 a year.
Ooh.
I had no chance.
It's a fraction.
Yeah. So my coach
Less
was
than a
like,
fraction.
look, we don't have scholarship money, aka I wasn't that nice yet, but I'll get you a meeting with the president, see what we can make happen.
Yeah.
The president says to me, it was a 30-second meeting, bro. My coach like really went out of his way to get this meeting happen, and then, like she just said, I'm sorry, there's nothing that we can do.
Just like that.
Just like that. And so I make the team. Moms get evicted from home, and I find out that I cannot attend college anymore. Essentially, I can't play basketball, like nothing.
Wow.
Everything's deaded right there. And I'm just like in my dorm room, and at the time, Drake is like on the come up, right? And so he has a song called Fear.
Are you listening to Friday Night Lights at this point?
No, so this was pre Friday Night Lights. J. Cole wasn't a thing yet.
Okay.
This is Drake. This is 09, right?
So far gone.
So Far Gone. Yep.
Yeah.
So Fear, right? That song.
Dope song.
I like connected with it a lot. I love that beat. I was like, damn, this is crazy. So for some reason, bro, I swear to you, I had not thought about being a rapper. I threw on that beat and I just wrote out like what I was going through at the time.
This is the first time
I ever picked up the pencil to fully write a song, and something compelled me to just like put it on my Facebook page, and like it caught wind.
You recorded it.
Yeah, I recorded like a little video
Okay.
of me at like just at my desk in my dorm room.
And it's like an instrumental to Fear.
It's an instrumental to Fear, and I'm just rapping, no mic, nothing. I'm just rapping over the beat, you know what I mean? And just like talking about it. I uploaded to Facebook. I'm pretty well known on the college campus, and so it goes like somewhat viral around like, you know, the kids in my school, and like everybody's like, yo, you should take this seriously.
Yeah.
And that was like what started it.
Wow. So that's a story, bro. Like you ask somebody how they pick up the pen, it's usually pretty like nowadays it's like I don't even know if I wanted to be a rapper. I started rapping. Somebody said, hey, you should start doing it. That's usually how like it goes about.
Yeah.
So like, bro, that's super authentic. And what's crazy about it is like you can actually hear it in your music. So that's why like asking that question is so serious to me, is because I'm just like, yo, where did this man start?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like it has to be something deeper than just picking up the pen.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So,
it
like,
wasn't. And I always feel weird.
I
People
always
are like,
wanted to
what
know that.
influenced your music? And I'm like, it wasn't. I mean,
Life.
I grew up on
No, it's life.
Jay-Z.
No,
I
it's
grew up
life.
on rappers, but yeah, it was just my life.
Yeah.
A
But
rapper didn't make me want to get here.
You were, what's the word? I mean, I guess inspired or influenced, but like, you just consumed that, right? And it's like you've always appreciated it, right? So when you got to the point of actually doing it, you've already been doing it prior.
Yeah.
So it's just like it made sense.
Exactly. And that's really all we had. Like, and when you're from like, you know, the mud, bro, like it's like we do what we know. It's either you're gonna play ball, you're gonna be in the streets, or you're gonna rap. Like
that's it.
That's all we had. That was the world that we knew at the time.
Selective options. Yes.
At the time, that's all we knew.
Yeah, at the time. Well, yeah, man, that's an amazing story, bro. I appreciate you sharing that with me. So, like, I definitely wanted to start it off like that and get an understanding of like how it all started before I got into anything else.
Yeah.
But I mean, just going into the next segment, just talking about college, right? So I guess I want to just jump into like the show part, like doing shows. You've done shows at colleges.
Yeah.
Right.
So
like, tell me about that experience, like being in college, living in the dorm rooms, being a part of that process.
Yeah.
And now you're like,
you
know what I mean?
It was so college was short lived. It was a year and a half. The day that I found that I wasn't going to college anymore, like I pretty much had to go home like a couple weeks later. Yeah. But my first show actually ended up being at that college, which was pretty dope. Yeah.
How'd you set that up?
Bro, I don't even remember. I think I got picked up by a manager pretty like soon after starting to rap. My first manager was actually someone that I went to high school with. He was a little Jewish kid at the time. His name was Ben, right? And we did not talk in high school. I didn't even know who he was. Yeah. But like after, you know, I'm in college now. He like finds my music. And he's like, yo, I'm getting into music. He's like, I'd love to manage you. And I'm like, sure. And so like he was a great manager, first off, like amazing. He was actually ahead of where I was. I was so new that I like didn't really move at his pace yet. But
he believed in you.
He did. He believed in me
Yeah.
more than ever. Like at my shows, he would literally be in the crowd like rapping word for word.
Hey.
It was crazy.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, he just started lining stuff up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was an intern at Def Jam, so like he was around music. You know what I mean? He just knew what to do.
Okay.
And so he started putting me in certain positions, and like, yeah, it was crazy. I started catching on to rap money. I'm like, so I show up here for 15 minutes, rap a couple songs, and then I leave with a bag. That's it.
That's it.
And so
this
yeah.
was when? This was
Now we're in like 2010, 2011, 2012.
So this is before. So at this point, haven't dropped any projects, right?
Nah, I had a project called The Tryout. That was my first project, but that's
so
trash.
I don't know where that's at.
Yeah, I don't want you to know where it's at.
So it's the tryout. this is the tryout.
Yeah, this is the tryout.
Make the team, so we're just gonna go ahead and
Okay. You know, we're gonna move past that. I needed it though.
Yeah.
I was making records out of a bedroom, you know, with like one kid that believed in me. This kid, Christopher Mulfadis, I'll never forget it.
Wow.
He was just like, bro, we gotta make music. And
that was in the dorms.
No. So I left college at this point. I could not be at college.
Okay,
I'm out. I'm like moved back home. I'm in Connecticut at this time. Okay. So now it's 2010, 2011. I'm in Connecticut because we moved from New York. New York rent is crazy. Mom's just like, this is where we going. Yep. And like that was it.
We out.
And it was interesting because I moved to Connecticut. When you move to a new state, you don't know anybody, right? So now I can't by nature just turn up on Friday nights because I don't know anybody to turn up with. So I'm forced to sit in my room and just make music. But I have, you know, people that believe in me here and there. I got my management, this kid Chris. So I'm like taking the train to New York and just like literally I'm gone from home for 5 days just like making music. Yeah, just making music.
So you getting that 10,000 hours in.
This is where I'm building the 10,000 hours.
This is where it starts.
Yep, exactly.
It's amazing, bro. So I'm gonna read this quote, and I want you to tell me what it means. So what started off as merely an impression of frustration has turned into a blossoming career for the 23-year-old Tarik Trotter.
Yeah.
This is about that time, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the frustration is with life, bro. I'm gonna share a story that I've like never actually shared before.
Okay.
So when I went back home from college and like we're moving, you know, because we got to get out of this place. I'm so young in the mind, bro. I pick up my phone and like I Google Rock Nation, Bad Boy Entertainment.
You're checking all
and
the labels.
I'm calling like me.
Calling them.
I'm calling and like speaking with them. And I'm like, hey,
Who are you talking to?
I don't even know, bro. The receptionist probably at the front desk of the studio.
Like,
this is like actually kind of embarrassing, but it's
no,
this is real.
This is
you know
part
what
of
I mean?
this process, bro.
And I'm calling. I'm like, hey, you know, my name's Tarik. I'm a like pretty, you know, talented artist. I'd love to come in and like meet with you guys and just show you my music. And they're like, I'm sorry, honey, that's not how this works. We only work with, you know, artists that are signed to major labels. And
that's either like a referral or you know somebody.
Yeah, you know, just Like I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is like I'm at the
third. Out.
I'm at the third hour of my 10,000 hours.
You're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure something out to like, cause I couldn't believe what was I just made the team, bro. 365 days straight in the gym. Like this was my. I'm going to the league, Mom. Like I promised you a house. Like we gonna make it. And
one way or another.
It's just all happening so fast. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, there's like a funny thing that frustration does where it breeds action. Like I'm not gonna say it was the wrong action, but it was funny by calling labels, right? You know what I mean? You gotta think how broken I had to be to think that I had the audacity to call Rock Nation.
Like if you think about it as being an artist, it's like, yo, like, how do I go about it?
Yeah.
You know, you think about how to go about it, and it's like that's the very last thing anybody would do.
Yeah, that's not what you do at all. You know
it's crazy that you
Yeah.
So what gave you that push to be like, all right, let me just hit him up and see what happens? Like,
bro, I was desperate.
Okay.
Like,
so that's the frustration of just
you know,
like,
when you say,
I got it.
Yeah.
So you was confident.
Yeah, I
knew you had it.
Yeah, and I like didn't have it yet, but yeah, I knew I had it.
But
if that makes sense,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
potential.
I knew
the ambition to get there.
Yeah, I knew where I was going. Like I've always been very serious about my goals. You know what I mean? Like I grew up with a single mom for most of my childhood.
Yeah.
So when you grow up with a single mom, and this is the woman of your life, right? This is the woman of your dreams, like everything. This is my world. When you see her cry, that'll force you to do some things that you did not know you could do.
Oh, it's different,
right?
bro.
And luckily I wasn't a street kid, because like if I would have been in the streets in somebody's pockets.
Bro, I'm telling you.
You know what I mean?
I've been
when,
there.
When you see your mom, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was broken.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I ended up doing, calling up
whatever
labels.
it takes.
Yeah, whatever it takes. And then obviously it didn't work.
Yeah.
We just ended up moving to Connecticut.
All right, so now we talk. So since bro, appreciate you sharing that amazing story, by the way.
Absolutely.
Like, it all makes sense to me. I just wanted to hear it from you. Now we talking about labels. So
yeah. Now
so we talking about labels.
Labels.
We've actually had this conversation before.
We have. Okay.
I don't know if you remember or not, but we've talked about labels, and you've talked about how you almost deaded certain people who reached out to you. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah,
conversation
I
or not.
got deaded by people that reached out to me.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's talk about it. So, in the song titled "Everything That I Am," 3. You say you met with Atlantic. You also said something about you not being the typical or the everyday rapper, right? You dive into that. Like, that's one of the first things that stood out to me about that song. Is like, I was like, yo, this is real. Like, this happens. All the talent in the world, but you're not putting out a perception or a picture or.
Yeah, I don't wear the chains. I wasn't in the streets. I wasn't.
Let's talk,
you know what I mean?
Let's talk about the Atlanta situation. Situation.
So, my managers got me a meeting with Atlantic, and this was huge, bro. Like, when I say, like, I thought like life was about to be lit.
And this was when 2000.
This is 2014, I believe. Yeah.
And what's out right now? Is it
So
Here I Stay?
Golden's
out.
one of my biggest records at the time. I had a record called Weatherman. It went stupid on YouTube for some reason.
Okay.
Like over half a mil views.
So Here to Stay.
Here to Stay, yeah. Yep.
That was your first project.
That
right?
was like my first real project, yeah.
So that was already put together and out. And then you had like some singles on
And we
top
had
of that.
singles on it, and we were like, we're going to shop these around to labels. And like,
Okay.
we met with Def Jam, Sony, Atlantic.
So Atlantic wasn't the only label.
No, Atlantic was the label where we literally had a verbal commitment that they were going to sign me. They were going to sign me to what's called I believe it was called the A&D deal. It's like artist in development. So there's certain things that happen in the industry, and I want to make sure I'm accurate, so I won't go into too much detail.
Yeah.
But you know how Macklemore seemingly popped up out of nowhere? Like one day he just had Thrift Shop, and then like Macklemore's here.
Yeah.
So
He had an idea.
if this might not be accurate, but I'm pretty sure that he was signed to an A&D deal with Atlantic. And what that means is that they work with you for a couple years. You have all the resources that a major artist would
You
have.
don't get that
You
too,
have
you
producers, but they don't put you out there yet. So
Okay.
they're keeping you
They're
on the
grooming
low.
you.
They're grooming you, yeah. But you get the studio, you get budget, like you get the
So
the
you're on the
shits.
label.
Yeah, you're pretty much on the label. They haven't signed you to Atlantic yet. You know, you're not Adele
You're
yet.
like B-list.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
A-list, B-list.
But they're working on you. And from that pocket, if you create a record like Thrift Shop, bang, your career goes. So we had a verbal commitment from she was the VP of hip hop there. And we played a few records for her. We played 3 records for her, and she was like, "This is lit. I like it."
What did you play?
We played Golden. We played a song called All Right, and we
Fire.
played a song called Choices. And she called us out on Choices. She was like, "This is a little cheesy. It's like a little watery." And it was.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah.
I've heard the other 2.
Yeah, Choices. It's a very well written song, but it's like.
I feel like All Right should have been like.
All Right is
One.
crazy, bro.
At that time,
All Right is
like
crazy.
that was the vibe.
All Right was crazy. But yeah, so the meeting ended, and she was like, it was a Friday. She was like, all right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to draft up a contract over the weekend. I'm going to send you guys a number, and you let me know if you guys like it, and then we'll move from there.
So is it a number and a term?
Pretty you know, it's a
It's a full
contract.
contract.
I'm about to get. She's saying that she's going to sign me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we leave. Right, we're on the corner of 41st Street and 6th Avenue in the middle of Manhattan. Me and my manager and his partner in front of this big building. You know, because Atlantic is crazy. You got to take an elevator to what's called, I think it's called like the Sky Floor or whatever, and then there's an elevator from that. There's a lobby pretty much 60 floors up. And then from there, you got to take another. Yeah, it's exclusive.
Like
you know what I mean?
penthouse,
You don't just
private.
walk up in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we come downstairs. We're outside on the corner, like right across the street from Radio City Music Hall. Like I'm feeling myself. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
let's go.
You get to that bottom floor. You like,
yeah.
wow.
That just happened. So we're screaming at the top of our lungs. People looking at us like they're crazy. You know, it's Manhattan. People, the hustle and bustle is going on, and we're screaming like, "Yo, we did it! We got signed!" Because my manager Ben at the time, he said, right, the first day he approached me, he's like, "My goal is to get you signed," and like, he almost got us there.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was more. There's a lot more to that where I wasn't moving at his pace yet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're like, yeah, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Monday comes. Nothing yet. You know, it's one day. It's cool.
Yeah.
She's, you know, VP of hip hop at you know, Atlantic. It's,
We're gonna chill.
We're gonna chill. You know, Tuesday comes. All right, let's shoot a little follow-up email.
Yeah.
No response.
Wow.
Still not really tripping yet. Wednesday comes. All right. Well, I mean, she could hit us back at least. You know, pick up the phone.
Just let us know.
Something. You know.
I like you, but it might not work out. Like something.
Thursday comes. Nothing. Friday comes. Nothing. Next week comes. I'm broken.
Yeah. You went from here to
right.
the
This is my first time, right? I'm not smart yet, so I don't know the value of moving in silence yet.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you think I told? My mom, my friends, everybody. So what I got to deal with next week? What's happening? What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah. You gotta explain.
I don't even know.
Yeah. That's tough.
She completely ghosted. We never heard from her again.
So that's why you made that line clear.
Yeah. And so it's ironic. Everything I Am 3 is playing right now, right?
What? Let's go.
It's like,
where's the audio?
So the funny thing about Everything I Am, because there's a series of them. There's 5 of them right now. 6 is about to come out in hopefully a couple of weeks.
I'm ready for it.
Everything I Am's happened when I experienced an extreme high in life and then an extreme low.
It's amazing.
And it's like a tornado, you know, warm air and cold air, and then bang. Yeah. And then suddenly I got a record that it just, for some reason, lyrically I go places in Everything I Am's that I don't go in other songs because I'm feeling the most.
I already told you how I felt about
it. Yeah.
Like I've been listening to you. Since I met you, I've been listening to your music. I heard that one, and I was like, "This is different."
It's different, yeah.
Like, and especially to be a time of your life that you created that, I was like,
yeah,
wow,
yeah,
right? Like, you know, because when I first pressed play on anything from you, I was just like, okay, you know. But then like stemming back, it's like you got a story.
When you reach back, you
got a story. So like that's where I'm like coming up with all these like, you know, having more and more questions because I'm just like, yo, like, where was he at? What was the experience like? What motivated this? Because I mean, that's how we operate, right? Like we're motivated and we're driven by certain things.
Yeah.
And for you to put it down on the paper, and recite it, and make it a project, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, man, I appreciate the story on that because that's deep.
Wild, bro.
In the crib.
Yeah.
We in the crib.
In the crib. In the actual crib.
Like,
no cap.
So now, being in the crib and talking about music, man, and talking about music videos and production, bro, like, that's another thing that, like, I'm super intrigued by, bro. Like, you know, so I want you to talk more on, like the creative process of it, like, the creative approach of it, because I'm watching, I'm like, yo, like, these visuals are crazy.
Yeah. Right?
The song is already fire. And then he drops this video. It's like, who's he working with? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Talk to me about like your creative approach on that.
So first off, I have to shout out my first he was my video director. Yeah. Like this kid Hunter Lyon, bro. This kid was like, I think he was 18 when I first met him. He was a freshman in college, and I think he found me online and he was like, you know, like I want to work, like you know, let's get together. We would literally just walk around the city and just make music videos. You know, that's what this is. We just found the spot, and we're like, let's shoot here.
That's what it's about, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it's about.
There's value to that. There's value to planning, and there's also value to just like going and
Like
doing
the freelance piece.
it. Yeah.
And like being like,
Yeah.
like super just like sporadic and spontaneous about it.
Yeah.
It's like that's where you get, like you in the city, it look like the PJs to me somewhere down over here. Somewhere down over here. It's
Yeah.
like, but like I feel like if you go to a place like that, that's when you're gonna get the best you.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So if you putting this out like, hey, this is my single. This is where we at. But this is the video. This is me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like for real
Like,
me. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, bro, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, yo, like, this dude's just talented.
Yeah.
Like, and you're working with the right people too.
Yeah.
And even now, even then, and even now, like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
you don't miss.
Been
And
just
I'm
been
not
blessed, bro.
surprised.
Yeah, been blessed. I
Yeah.
mean, so the creative process, when you first start, it's like you find beats on YouTube. At the time, it was a site called SoundClick. Anybody that's been rapping for more than 10 years now, they know SoundClick. Yeah. That was like that's where you got your beats. Even now, a true rapper, you're looking everywhere for your beats. It don't matter where it's coming from. But yeah, I'll find these beats. My managers would send me beats and be like, "Yo, you sound good on this," and I'd be like, "I don't really like that," but they were like, "Nah, you gotta rap on this because it's gonna go." And they were right a lot of the times.
So you
Even
just
now,
gotta-
my manager who's sitting right here,
You
he's
just gotta
my
go.
biggest record right now. He was like, "You gotta rap on this."
You gotta go.
And when I
Did you
trust,
doubted that one?
say again.
You doubted it?
I did. Yeah, I was like,
Which
I
track?
don't know. Yeah,
Oh yeah, bro. That's
go stupid, right?
good job. Good job. Shout out to the manager.
We made it in what 15 minutes.
Shout
bro?
out, bro.
In his garage,
yeah,
bro.
it's fire.
And it's my best record, you know what I mean? But I wasn't like crazy about it because Everything I Am 3, that's like my favorite pocket when I could like really like just
Yeah.
talk about what's in here. But I found a way, luckily my music now is talking about what's in here but on turnt records too.
Yeah,
like I could cuz if you listen to the lyrics, I'm talking,
you're
right?
talking.
Right?
Every
like,
single record.
remember walking through my hood, Nikes on my feet. After school I had to pray my soul to keep, my souls, right?
Hold on.
Cuz if
My
right?
soul.
My soul, right?
Both souls.
Both
Both
right?
of them.
Because then through it, I said, right, I had to Nikes in a book bag because in my hood, that's the only way you was walking through. I had to walk through my hood with shacks on my feet.
And then you had to switch them out.
Yeah, when I got to school, this is me. I got the sneaks, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't walking through my hood with
I know
them.
how that is.
Yeah.
What size is those? My size.
Yeah.
My size.
Yeah,
That
facts.
is real.
Facts.
Damn, that's fire, bro. I
yeah.
love that, bro. That's crazy. So let's talk a little bit about what I actually really, really appreciate is that I noticed that you have a little segment before the video starts, and it's Tarik and the 100 Foundation.
Yeah, the 100 Day Co-Foundation, which
And-
recently changed to Infinite Collective Foundation.
Okay. So I was reading up on it and the message, and I mean it's amazing how you have that a part of what you're doing, right? So
Yeah.
speak on that briefly and what that's about.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be able to tell you the exact time that it came to me, but I'll share this story, right? First I'll share like what the foundation is, really centered around. And it's hard to encapsulate because like what we plan to do infinite things.
Yeah.
Because I believe that the human spirit is infinite.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So dedicated to reinventing an education system, providing a safe haven for children all around the world, and my favorite part, watering the 100 years that follow our own. And what I mean by that is we as human beings are a little selfish by nature where we feel like our lives, like, the 100 years that we live, if we make it to 100, that's just like me rounding up. That's all we focus on is just us.
I think we take a lot of things for granted.
Oh,
too.
100%.
Like you think about, like I talk about it. I actually speak about it. Like, and I have people like really thrown off guard when you really start to think about like what we really have. If you think about like even being at the bottom in a place like where we're at right now, is nowhere comparable to some third world countries, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you heard of like that kind of reminded me. Have you heard of the shoe brand Tom's?
Yep.
Like the little Tom shoes. So like what that dude does is he take every pair of Tom shoes that you buy, he sends off a pair to
one of those
kid
countries.
in Africa.
Okay.
Like,
Word.
I think it started in Africa. I'm sure he's everywhere now. But like that type of stuff just makes you think like, yo, like we really got it good, and it's like, it's not a whole lot to complain about.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was just like, yo, like his mind is somewhere else, right? And it's like people wait until they get to a platform or status where they can give back. You know, you talk about like the fires in Australia or like the fires in
Oh,
then they went like, but we're like, was that there at the beginning state?
Oh,
like,
man.
was that,
We're so reactive,
bro?
Yeah.
So when I was like, bro, this is like,
yeah,
I was like, that off the rip is amazing, bro. So
Yeah.
like, I appreciate you for that. Like, and I've understood that like when I see stuff like that, like I'm not surprised.
yeah,
Because like I said, bro, when we first met, like the vibe was all the way there, and I was like, yeah, it's like, you know what I mean? A lot like how I move.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
And I was like, that's kind of hard to find, like to run into somebody that moves like you know what I mean? So like, I definitely appreciate you on that, man. So
Yeah. So I'm fully tapped into it now, bro. Like, you know, it's, man.
let's talk about being tapped in then, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about growth, right? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna list off some tracks, right?
Okay.
And then we're gonna talk about growth real quick and being tapped in, right? So like I wrote down some. So off the rip, I got Might As Well Confess. This is 2012. Briefly, like sum that up real quick. Where were you at? How did it come about?
Might As Well Confess is when I found my voice.
Okay. 2013, Had a Chance.
Had Your Chance.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
Where were you at? How did it come about?
I was living in Connecticut, and like the girls there were like a little weird.
Oh yeah,
It's
you
like,
come from New York to Connecticut. I mean,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. But I could
It's a
just
culture
tell how
shock.
like I'm an authentic person. So if you're not authentic, I'm gonna know within a few
Yeah.
seconds. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah,
it's like,
it's the
well,
same way.
hold up. When I was just like playing at the basketball court, like and like I've been here for a while,
Yeah.
but now that I'm making music, now you want to pull up on me and like have certain conversations when I'm out and about and you see me, and I was like, oh, Tarik, oh my god.
So this is what inspired Had a Chance.
Yeah, and I'm
so
like,
you were in Connecticut when you made that.
Yeah, and I was just like,
So that's
fall
a
back.
growth. That's a growth period.
Yeah.
Okay. One of my favorite, Opposite, featuring Sango.
Yeah.
Explain that piece, because I like when you first made that, I was like, yo, like, is it, like you got Sango on here, like.
So I always keep it 100 when I talk about this. I do not personally know Sango.
Yes.
Okay. Me and my managers found that beat. He had put out a beat mixtape, and he was selling the beats for $1. It was just like a little thing he was doing.
And that's what that was.
Yeah, it was one of those on there, and like we hit him up religiously. I'm like, yo, I want to put this out, but like I want your permission, and like I want you to know what I'm doing. I also want you to be a part of it, because you're Sango, like you're the man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I really mess with his music. And yeah, I made that record in New Hampshire, because I used to go up to New Hampshire to record. Some guy.
But you were still in Connecticut.
Yeah, I was still in Connecticut. One of my engineers. I was actually back in New York. After Connecticut, we moved back to New York. One of my engineers, who I still work with to this day, Matty Fee, he found me online, and he was like, yo, I'd love to work with you. We made a song together. Now he just like, he mixes and masters all my stuff pretty much, for the most part.
Okay.
But yeah, cut it at his house, and obviously a deep record. Love it. I was like, I wanted to like encapsulate life in a nutshell. So I like, the song is called Opposite, but obviously the end of the song sounds way different from the beginning.
Did you sample Dream on there? Did you sample a Dream?
You would have to ask Sango. I really don't know.
There's a little Dream vibe. I think
there is, right?
He probably got permission from Dream.
Yeah.
And then that same time, Bananas 2008.
Yeah.
Off the Vermont.
Vermont Ave mixtape.
That's fire. Then we go to 2019, where you got your best.
I started dropping again.
This is
Yeah.
We're at at this point.
Yeah.
So through all the turmoil, through first project, through multiple singles.
Now I'm 10,000 hours in. You know,
at this point,
it comes, like I said, we made that in 15 minutes, and it's like.
So at this point, is there record labels reaching out to you?
Nah. So you would notice, right? Because there was a gap from like 2015 to 2019, pretty much.
That's exactly.
There's a gap there. I had to learn who I was as a person, right? I was like making music, right? Ended up splitting with my former management team because I just wasn't there yet. I wasn't moving at the pace that they were, and I was like, I could keep making music, sure, and like we'll keep having these labels, but I was like, I don't really know who I am. Yeah. Like, and like I want to go figure that out.
It's crazy how you get to that point, right?
Yeah, it's wild, bro.
Like but like it all makes sense though.
Yep.
all the turmoil, all the trials and tribulations, like everything that it all makes sense when you get to that point, but it's all about being real with yourself.
Yes, sir.
And that's one of the things that I'm learning right now, where like, you know, going through that process and getting to where I'm at now, but also being real with myself, saying like everything that I went through and channeled through is the reason why I'm here.
100%.
And I feel the same way
100%.
with you, bro. I can hear it in your music.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And I like my path, you know what I'm saying? I like that it's taken me long. I like that I'm a late bloomer.
There's
because you see what happens to the young cats that they get on early.
Yeah.
The issue is like, that's great because they're able to change their lives and the lives of their family, but they don't know who they are yet.
And not only that,
Right.
those are the type of people that get envied the most.
Because they think that it's all good and it's really not.
Like, AKA Pop Smoke, rest in peace.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, he's a prime example of somebody who just flipped the switch, boom, and then how did he do it? What is he doing different than I'm doing? I've been grinding the last 10
Everybody
years.
watches it. It's like, nah, everybody got their own path.
Yeah, bro, stick to it, bro. It's an amazing path for you, bro.
Yep.
And I appreciate it 100%. Last one. Don't I? All right. So this kind of personal.
Yeah, you
know where I'm going, huh?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So about a minute in, the chorus goes, hit my line. It's that time.
Yeah.
This ain't sound.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
Yep.
We talked about that.
Yep. So,
Did you just throw it in there?
yeah, but it
Was the song done already, or like what was the process?
No, it was part of the writing. Like it was super intentional because at the time that I was making Don't I, it's like where I am now, where I realized that music right now is not moving off of like the power of lyrics. It's more so the energy.
Yeah.
So like, you know, people make fun of mumble rappers or certain rappers who are just like, you know, they're not Nas. Like, of course, that doesn't exist anymore, right? But like what these kids have these days is energy. So that what they're making is a vibe. It puts you in a certain mood. You work out to it. You play ball to it. You know what I mean? That's what music is now. It's a wavelength. It's a vibration.
Absolutely.
So this is not, you know, what I was saying is like, this isn't just, you know, a sound. This isn't just music in your ears. It's like, this is a vibe that you can like match with.
So do you remember having a conversation?
Absolutely. And I told you that line was strictly like, that line was like kind of written for you.
For me, but it's already written.
Yeah.
But that part of the song specifically, like, yo, that's why that song is kind of like.
Nobody I know in my life like talks about vibes more than you do.
Bro,
I was like,
bro, it's all
this
about,
is it.
bro.
I was like, this right here. Kenny was he's gonna appreciate
Bro,
this.
they talk about positive energy. They talk about vibes.
Yeah.
It's easy to speak about it, but if you ain't living in it,
Oh yeah, then I'm a no, and I'm a no. I'm gonna tell if you know, and you always been that way too. You don't just have just anybody around you because
it's a different kind of energy, bro. That circle is deep.
Yep.
Yeah, so I just want to touch on that because that we didn't talk about it after that.
Yeah.
All right, bro. So I just want to get in real quick. I got a little Q&A set up for you, but before we get into that, I just want to know real quick, who are your biggest inspirations?
Okay. It's okay if I have a little list? I'm going to fly through it.
Real quick.
All right. Will Smith, Tony Robbins, Michael Phelps, LeBron James, Serena Williams, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, my most recent, Jay Shetty, Vishen Lakhani, man, it goes on. If you are great, Elon Musk, people who break the rules.
Oh yeah.
Like LeBron doesn't play the same game as as the other 9 people on the
They
court.
don't live by the status quo.
It's different, bro. Elon, he's not waiting on NASA or government funding. I'm going to space.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And what's sad is that 99% of the population still uses the word can't. I'm like, what do you mean? I see too many people do it.
Yeah.
Like if I told you 100 years ago that the best athlete in the world would be a black female, you would have thought I was tripping.
Yeah.
But now it's Serena.
It's because people like to settle, man.
Yeah.
They just settle, man.
Yeah.
Just like,
So if
don't
you're
wanna
great,
they don't want to put in the work.
they just don't know. It's just the same. It's like it's the same thing from being from the hood, bro. You go as far as what you know.
Exactly.
At one time, all we believed is that it was like a rapper, ball player.
Closed-minded.
You know, that's all you know. So you can't even blame them. But yeah, people would definitely get comfortable with that for
That's
sure.
an amazing list. So I mean, all those different people, actors,
Mhm.
athletes,
Mhm.
entrepreneurs.
Yep.
Right. It all makes sense. They all go in. So I just wanted to know that, just because like
Yeah.
I want to know what kind of keeps you.
Oh yeah.
Keep you going on,
Bruh,
on
you know that saying, you become like the 5 people you hang around the most with? Like, those are the people I hang around. And what I mean by that is that I'm consuming their content, whether it's on YouTube, podcast, videos.
Yeah.
They're all, I hang out with them literally more than I do, like, my friends. So, like, I'm becoming like them.
That's amazing, bro. Let's talk real quick. I want to talk about Accent Beats.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's crazy. Super
Wild,
talented.
yeah.
So you just got, how long have you been working with him?
Since, yeah, it was the first one by him. So, yeah, and
So
Don't I
recent.
are the two, very recent. 2019.
The dude's a beast.
He's wild, bro.
I actually just started keeping up with him.
He drops a beat like every day, too.
Yeah,
It's wild.
so keep working with that dude. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Last question on that is, what gets you into like record mode? Like what?
It's honestly,
Bro, I be seeing you. You be at the gym. You be at
yeah.
you won't even get on the court.
Yeah.
You'll be waiting for a game. You won't get on the court. You're like, I gotta go. I gotta go to the studio.
Mhm.
So that's a moment.
Yeah.
So like, I'm curious to like what brings you to that moment.
Honestly, bro, and I'll use this moment to just like really dedicate just like a moment to producers.
Yeah.
Cause like I don't produce my own stuff, not yet at least. I'm starting to get to that point now, but like I've been very fortunate to run into a bunch of producers and work with a bunch of producers the way they just bring it out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes the beat tells a story before I even rap on it, and so when I'm listening, I'm just like, damn, this is, you know, the soul sample and Everything I Am 3.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro. Like that brought that, it helped bring it out. You know what I mean?
Pieces about.
So yeah.
So are you listening to instrumentals?
All the time.
That's
I'll be riding with my girl. We're bumping instrumentals.
That's my last question.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be listening to it.
All the
that's
time.
My guess.
All the time.
Cause I'm like, yo, like, is he like, who's he listening to? Is he listening to Wale?
Yeah, nah.
To like Cole? Like
I do when they drop
listen to
albums,
Hov?
because I'm an album out. When they drop albums, I go listen. But other than that, I'm always listening to instrumentals. That's it.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah. I get distracted a lot too. Like,
a
new instrumental will come and I'm like, damn, and I leave the other one behind, and then a producer
so when
hit
you're
me up.
listening to these instrumentals, are you coming up with different ideas? Are you rapping over them, or like?
Yeah. So I'll listen and like immediately, it's a weird feeling. I feel. This is weird, but like it literally feels like when my heart's pumping blood, it's pumping words, and I just feel words coming all the way to my fingertips, and I have to grab a pen and I gotta go. Yeah.
That was descriptive.
Yeah.
But that was real.
Yeah, that's the way it feels.
Like it's in you.
I like feel it.
It's internal.
Mm-hmm. And you could tell on certain songs, like Everything I Am 3, when the words fit too perfectly together,
bro,
it's like it's bigger than me at that point.
More
you know,
people,
it's coming
more
from something
people
else.
need to hear that.
Yeah.
Everything I'm not made me everything I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's the old Kanye joint.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Fire. All right, man. We're going to get straight into it, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man.
Bro, thank you.
Sharing the
I'm
stories
so humbled,
with me.
so honored. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I'm humbled and honored to be here, too, man.
For sure.
It's crazy how life works, because, like, to think that, like, we would end up, because we've had conversations where I'm like, yo, like, I'm trying to get in the studio with you. Like, I'm trying to,
yeah.
Right? But it's crazy, like, it never.
We had no idea.
Right?
We had no idea we'd be right here.
But now we're actually.
And it makes sense.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So, I just wanted to touch on that
Word.
real quick. So, look, I got this little joint set up for us, right?
Okay.
So, it's called Keeping It a Buck.
Okay.
Keeping It a Buck,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, the way I got it set up is Q&A. So, I got roughly like 10 questions for you.
Okay.
But how I got it set up is some serious, some not so serious.
Okay.
So I gotta keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
So
I like
if you see something crazy here,
Let me grab my little sip real quick.
yeah, I actually was trying to get another.
Get a little refill.
Yeah, it's gonna get interesting, but it's gonna be real. But I think this is just a way to help understand, and I think you're a man that can keep it a buck. So
Yes, sir.
I figure this is the best way I can make it happen. All right. First question. What's some of your biggest challenges when it comes to creating music?
If my energy is off. if I'm not taking care of myself,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I find that, like, writer's block, which I don't even really believe in, that's when it becomes a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird because, let's say a producer sends a beat my way. If I'm not in the right place energetically and spiritually, I won't even, like, the ideas that would come when I'm in a more creative space and I'm really taking myself, they won't come during that time. So I'll brush that beat past.
So
And
you're
I'll
real
miss
with
it.
yourself,
Mhm.
and you realize that it's not it,
Mhm.
and you wait for the right time.
Yep.
It's amazing. I mess with that. All right, next question. What's your favorite cartoon?
Oh, man. Okay. Rocket Power.
Rocket Power.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Boogie
mess with
Boogie.
Rocket Power. I
Boogie
mess with
Boogie,
Rocket
yeah,
Power, bro.
yeah. Uncle Tito.
I had a small, like, little, like, experience of it. Like, I'm like not. I wouldn't say like I'm a diehard, but
Yeah.
when I did watch it, it was fire.
Yeah.
I
That
had
and
to.
Pinky and the Brain, too. I
Okay,
really like
so
that.
now we're like,
Yeah.
so mine would be like Tom and Jerry.
That's a classic, you know what I mean? That's
I
like,
don't know why, but it's something about that show.
it's a classic, bro. It's like the,
Like the
it's like
whole-
the Biggie of cartoons.
Like the
you
whole
know what I
Looney
mean?
Tune vibes was me.
Yeah, yeah.
So like that's the definite childhood for me. So I guess I can answer some of these with you.
Yeah.
All right, so gotta keep you on your toes though. Ready? So if you could work with any artist in the game, not genre specific, who would it be and why?
Can I name producer and artist?
Yeah, I'll give you
Okay.
two.
Timbaland for the producer.
Okay, why? I mean, it's
It's
unsaid, but just why?
Because my favorite artist is Justin Timberlake. And
Okay.
Timbaland is, his beats are just
Made for him.
stupid. You know what I mean?
They're made
If
for
we
him.
go back to some of Aaliyah's hits, like, bro, his beats are stupid.
He's made for the game.
Yeah. And he keeps up with it. He's still relevant today.
Mm-hmm.
Still produces for a lot of the songs that we don't even know.
Yeah.
So
So that's producer.
And then artist,
Doesn't have to be genre specific.
yeah, it's JT.
JT.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually that would probably be my last, not my last guess, but like
It's tough.
I don't even know if I
it's
would
tough
guess
because I
that.
want to say Hove, but
So why JT?
well, he's my favorite music artist.
Okay.
And, like musically, so Future Sex Love Songs is my favorite album,
Mm-hmm.
and him and Timbaland do this thing on certain records where the record starts out one way,
Mm-hmm.
and then by the end of the song you're in a whole different world,
Mm.
and
So you're inspired by that.
bro, it helped me.
Mm.
Cause like it would take me from where I was in like a dark place and like just I'm by the time the song's over I'm feeling a little bit different.
Okay.
Only music does that.
That's
you know?
deep. Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
does it to me every day.
Yeah,
People wonder why I listen to so much.
yeah.
It's part of the reason. It's a real answer. Makes sense.
You're not gonna answer that one?
Oh, you want to know my favorite?
Yeah, I mean you said you were gonna answer something too.
Ooh, okay. Let's see, bro. You know me, man. I mean, right now,
You probably got so many.
man, my mind is racing right now. I mean, you know, Cole is like,
Yeah, you know.
like, bro, like I do was real when I, excuse me, when I met the man. So I've actually physically met him, and it was a vibe off the rip. So like, it would definitely be him.
Yeah.
And it, like, the dude is a genius. He's like the whole Dreamville thing. I don't know if you saw like the recording process. Like, bro, that stuff like that's inspiring.
Yep.
So like, I would just like, even to be in the same room and to pick his brain would be, you know what I'm saying, something inspiring to me.
Yeah.
Producer, I would have to say, man, I don't know. There's so many right now.
I feel like you gotta say Sango. You gotta say Sango.
Sango's fire. Like, but there's a lot. I'm just trying to think on like a big scale because you said Timberland. I mean, I would have to say like, who's right now that's booming? Man, I would have to think more about that one, bro.
Yeah.
I'd have to think more about that. I have to be in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
It'd have to be music related for me to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
there. So
Word.
we're gonna leave it there. Favorite box of cereal? What was you munching on? TJ's like, I gotta have that one.
Yeah, it was Lucky Charms or
Lucky Charms.
or Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity
I'm
Pebbles.
from the hood, bro.
Fruity Pebbles for me, bro. That was
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah,
It was easy.
yeah.
Felt like you had a full bowl.
Bro, that box would be gone.
And then when they start giving you the little joints, the little toys in there, I was like, oh, I was digging in. Before I even had my bow, I was like, let me get my little toy.
Cutting the top of the box to take to school.
Bro, Fruity Pebbles. Okay, we right there. Bet. All right. Pause that. Oh. Did you get that? Okay, here we go. If there was, okay, so this is, it's the same
I kind of already answered it, yeah.
If there was one producer you could work with, who would it be?
I'll give a different answer though, Kanye.
Okay. Kanye. Mm-hmm. So that's what I was going to say too.
Yep.
I would also say Cole.
Yep. I mean, ideally, my first album is going to be Timbaland, Kanye, Cole, JT, Nas, Pharrell.
Wow.
And Rick Rubin. We're all in one room.
Whoa. My guy said Rick Rubin.
Mm-hmm.
Rick Rubin is like
upper
echelon.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That's fire. All right. So we can either pass this.
Celebrity crush.
Hey,
I'll answer it.
My woman.
Me and my queen we're tight. So
this is just for
man. I haven't even really thought about this.
I know. When I put this in there, I was like, I just want to see where his head's at.
Damn, bro, this is tough. Honestly,
okay.
Keeping it a buck, I don't
the
have one
crush
right
part.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the most inspirational woman in the game?
Okay.
Who's setting the pavement?
Greta.
And why?
Because
to the people that don't know who Greta is.
Yes. It's just like being from the hood.
Mm-hmm.
All you know is a few things that you can become.
Mm-hmm.
Greta's breaking that for women.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, it's hard to be a woman in this world because up until this point, women have really molded themselves to fit the eyes and the likings of men. And that it's not going to happen with my daughter.
Nope.
Nor with my queen.
Absolutely.
I always tell my queen, this is your world, I'm in it.
Absolutely.
Every movie that was ever made, I wish we could just redo it, but from the woman's perspective, because there's so much more to them than
that's real.
We'll ever know. But Greta is it's different. I couldn't even tell you what she does, because she's infinite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But she's the children that I'm gonna end up working with my foundation. All the girls are gonna grow up and be just as influential as Greta.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to replicate it to upbringing your children. It's amazing. If I was to say celebrity crush, that was a great answer, by the way, because the queen's in the building.
Yeah.
You gotta come correct. If I were to say anybody right now, I mean, I'm not excluding anybody, but I'm talking just up and coming right now that I highly respect, and I know that they're influenced by the Erykah Badu's, the Beyonce's, the Rihanna's, I would have to say her.
Who?
Her.
Oh, her. Word. Okay, bet.
Bro.
Yeah.
Her story's crazy.
Wow.
She started as a pianist. She played 5 or 6 instruments at 10 years old.
Yeah.
She was on today's news.
Bro.
She did the cover to Alicia Keys. What's the classic? The Alicia Keys classic. I'm blanking on it.
I mean,
the high noted one. She's on the keys. I'm blanking.
How does it go?
I'm blanking right now, bro. But anyways, she performed that song at 8 years old, and I saw the video, and I was just like, whoa.
Wow.
Empowerment, all that.
Yeah.
She believes in it. She pushes it. I guess her idea of actually making her album, she implicated it where it's just a silhouette of her and nothing else.
Wow.
And that's just her kind of impersonation of here's my sound. I hope you enjoy it. you know, and nothing else.
You know, I still haven't listened to her album fully through yet.
Yeah.
I got it queued up. Like, I know, because when I do, I know I need to be sitting in a dark room with, like, candles on by myself.
No, she's fire. No, definitely. Like, I mean, I think she's fire.
Word.
Okay. Top five artists in the game right now, any genre. Shoot.
Okay. The Baby, Lil Baby,
Yep.
Billie Eilish, Bazzi. A lot of people don't know him.
I know exactly who Bazzi is.
Who's that fourth? Who's that fourth?
You tell me.
Roddy Ricch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta represent
Number one song in the country.
the city.
You know.
Yeah, the number one album too
Yeah.
for the longest. All right, here we go. So, did you know that you share the same name
Yes.
with the Roots legend Tarik Trotter, aka Black Thoughts?
Yes. He's actually tweeted me about it, and he asked.
Did
me,
he?
He asked me.
That's
if I was,
wild.
he asked me if I was named after him, and I was like, no.
What? So you know his story? So his name was originally spelled just like yours.
I did not know that.
Which is Turkish descent.
Mm-hmm.
It stands for strive on.
Mm-hmm.
He actually changed his name. So his K
Became a Q.
turns to a Q.
Mm-hmm. I did not know that.
Okay.
Wow.
Put you on game.
Thank you.
I thought that was a cool little
Nah,
story.
that is. I love that.
Yeah. And he's obviously a legend of Roots.
Oh man, one of the best rappers of all time.
Black Thoughts. He's from the East Coast too. Alright, so this is the last one, man. So if there was one time or one moment in the last year or month, what would you change? And what moment would it be? And why?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Not one thing.
I'm not surprised by that. But I was just maybe...
It would, like if I answered that, it would literally contradict what we just said about how we didn't know, but everything that, you know, where we are right now, everything that happened, it just made sense.
And this is pre-conversation, so...
Yeah. You know what I mean? So
I just thought it'd be...
Yeah. No, I love the question, but like, yeah, I'm just one of those people, I wouldn't change a thing. And I've been through some shit in my life.
Oh, yeah.
I've been through some shit in the last year, as we all have.
It's crazy.
You know
I
what
think
mean?
about it all the time.
Yeah. Like some crazy shit, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't change one thing.
I love it. Well, I think you answered every one of those questions very swell.
Yeah.
My brother.
I will say this, actually.
What?
I had a close friend of mine recently who, she lost her mom. If I could bring her mom back, because the growth that I've seen this friend grow through over the past couple months since losing her mom, after her mom was gone, it's like they got closer. It's weird. If I could bring her mom back so that she could take the current version of herself and apply that love,
That's deep.
I would do that.
Okay, so I did pick the right question.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I love it, bro. It's amazing, bro. All right, man. That about wraps it up. I mean, as far as I mean, where can the people find you, man? Like, where's it at? I mean, I know where to find you.
Yeah, it's the same everywhere. I go by my government, Tarik Trotter, so Tarik, Trotter. Yep, all across the board. If you look that up, it's really not hard to find. And I'm working on getting more popping, so if you look me up on iTunes, you might have to look through a couple of Tariks. But
yeah, man. And there's a couple of people that's jacking that.
Oh yeah, yep.
We had that conversation.
Yep.
I was like,
I gotta fix it. I gotta get on top of it.
I was like, who is this dude?
Yeah. Yeah, my songs are like under a different. I gotta fix it.
So we gotta clean that up, but they can find you on iTunes.
Yeah, iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, SoundCloud, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, like wherever there is something, I'm there.
I love it.
Yeah.
What's next?
Just a bullish
Before you answer that, you recently did a show. I heard through the grapevine that you performed. Right? You did. What was the first song you performed?
The first song I did was called Mamba.
So you performed Mamba first,
and it didn't even come out yet. It comes out Monday.
So Yardley was telling me that was the ending piece.
No, that was the beginning.
Okay.
I performed last.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about that real quick. So your process was that you gave everybody purple and gold flakes? Or
Yeah, like
graffiti?
confetti. Hmm.
Right?
Yeah, and there's a part in the song where the lyrics are Mamba swish, and on the swish, like we all just threw it up in the air, purple and gold. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So I heard the place. I mean, I heard it was crazy.
Yeah, it was dope, bro. Because I was the only artist there that had a live band, and it was also my first time performing with a live band. So I rehearsed like crazy that entire week. Thankfully, because when I performed with the live band, they were doing the songs faster than they actually are. So I had to like improvise a little bit, but it was lit.
And this was for you opened up for Benny Siegel.
Hmm.
I'm sure Benny was like, "Yo, I gotta follow up."
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he probably was wondering what happened because after I left, like everybody left with me, so the venue was pretty empty when we cleared.
So the next so what's next is Mamba.
Mamba's next, yeah, and then we're working on an album. I mean, we got a lot, bro. We got a lot coming, bro. Yeah.
You know I'm serious about the MP3.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you already know.
I need to know.
Yeah.
I will push it, bro.
Yeah.
I will let the people know what's going on.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you, bro. That about wraps it up, bro.
Bro.
My guy.
Thank you.
Coming
Thank
through,
you, bro.
Sound On Hollywood.
Absolutely.
And that's
Yeah. What's the name? What's the name of the official name for this?
Sound On.
Sound On.
With Hollywood Hagen.
Hollywood Hagen. I love
I'm
it.
here with my guest.
Let's go.
Tarik Trotter. Had an amazing conversation with you today.
Let's go.
Got a chance to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, stuff
right?
we never talked about before. Yeah.
Got to know some stories about untold stories, never told stories. I got to learn more about your process, more about your influences, more about your team. You know, more about your ideas. Obviously, what's next. And yeah, bro, keep me up to speed, man.
Absolutely, bro.
We'll sit down and get to it again.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, bro.
Absolutely, bro. Yes, sir. Sit. And we out.
All right.
I didn't know when it was cool.
Yeah, shit.
Start recording it.
They were like, damn.